Hey there, banjo-uke friends. Let's get right into this. You keep saying you got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been messing where you shouldn't have been messing. Now someone else is getting all your best. These boots were made for walking, that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. You've been lying when you ought to be truthin'. You keep losing when you ought to not bet. You keep saying when you ought to be changing. And what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. These new boots are made for walking, that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. You keep playing where you shouldn't have been playing. You keep thinking you'll never get burned. I just found me a brand new box of matches, and what he knows you ain't got time to learn. These boots are made for walking, that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. These boots are made for walking, that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. All right. Well, that song's in a different key than what we normally do, or what I've been typically doing. I usually do a lot of songs that are in C, using C's, G's, F's, and D's. This one's a little different. This one's actually in A, and so we start out with an A chord, which is just, if you remember, behind the first fret on the third string, and behind the second fret on the fourth string. And as usual for me, when doing frailing on the banjo-uke, I'm striking down most of the time on the third string, and then I'm hammering on here with the first finger on the third string behind the first fret. So I'm kind of going, gives it a little added rhythmic element. So we're starting out with an A. You keep saying you got something for me. So we're staying on that chord for a couple of lines. Gets a little boring if you don't vary it in some way. Something you call love but confess. So the first two lines are on the A. Now it goes to a D, which is played three fingers here. Or some people might prefer to play it like this. Some people might prefer to play it three fingers in a row. I do it kind of like a little triangle. You keep messing where you couldn't be messing. I'm doing the same thing here. I'm striking down on the second string, and then I'm alternating here with the little finger, with the third finger, kind of on the second string behind the second fret. So it's that to get that rhythm. You've been messing when you shouldn't been messing. Now it goes back to the A. Someone else getting all your best. Now it goes into the chorus. And the chorus goes from a C, which is familiar. We've done the C before. These boots were made for, goes between the C and the A. So these boots were made for walking. That's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. So that just, in that part, it just went from the C. And you can keep playing behind that are going to walk all over you if you want to. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. And it goes to the second verse. You keep lying when you ought to be truthin'. You keep losing when you ought to not bet. And it goes to the D. You keep saying when you ought to be changing. Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. Now it goes back to these boots. These boots are made for walking. That's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. Now, one of you might have noticed I slipped just a little bit when I was singing it the first time, because there was a parody song from back in I guess it was back during the 80s. There was a parody of this called "These Newts Were Made for Walking," and so I almost said newts, and then quickly changed into boots on one of those choruses in there. So it was these newts are made for crawling. That's just what they'll do. One of these days, these newts are gonna crawl all over you. Anyway, sorry about that. But that's the whole song. It's just those three chords, just the A, the C, and the D. And you have some fun with that, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.